What up, people? What up? It's me, L Teddy 27, Angry Teacher Chronicles, and this is my review, y'all, for David Makes Mad. Listen, I got so many notes here. I don't even know if I'm gonna get through all of this, but I'm gonna try to get through as best I can. It was so good today. I really, really, really loved tonight's episode, as I like all the episodes. Let's get to it. So we start off. David is in his bed, normal, dreaming, daydreaming, whatever you want to call it. And he's dreaming of the water and the sea. And we'll talk about that later. Then we see Saren in bed. He's doing the same thing. He's daydreaming and so forth. But he's dreaming about like the planets and the universe and the solar system, space. And then we see Marissa, same thing, in bed, daydreaming, dreaming. She's dreaming about spiders. Listen, anybody who knows me knows I have serious arachnophobia. I almost had to turn the television screen off because me and spiders do not get along. I don't even like to see spiders on television, much less be in the company of spiders in real life. So it was hard for me, y'all, to make it through that part of the episode. But yeah, they're all just in their head, and you see them all having these thoughts, and it adds to the cinematography that we've come to love about this show. It adds to just everything that makes this show great. What makes this show so great is the phenomenal writing, but it's the writing that happens simply through the cinematography and the visuals and the things that are not spoken or said, just seen on camera. That adds such another addition and it's such another layer to what you're watching and to the story. So great. So we see Glow is at home. She's making all kinds of noise. JG and David are not used to Glow being home. She's all loud, making noises. She's making breakfast or whatever. So then she comes in and she starts to check David's bag. Now, a good parent, that's what you do. You bust in your child room at any given moment and you go straight for the bag and you start to check. You don't ask permission. You don't be like, oh, apprehend. You go right for it and you just start checking. That's what good parenting is. A good parent, yeah, I'm going to check this bag, and I dare you to say something to me. And if you notice, see, that's good parenting. David did not utter a word. He said, oh, no, Mom, what you checking my book bag for, this, that, and the third? Dope. He let her do it because he already know she ain't here for it. That's great parenting to me. He was afraid that his mom was going to either find drugs. Well, I knew he knew she wasn't going to find drugs because the drugs weren't there anymore. But I think he was afraid that perhaps the scent of the weed might still be in the book bag. So he was really fearful about that. She didn't notice that, but she pulled out this flyer. And the flyer was about a school dance. And she asked David, did he want to go? He was like, nah, I got to keep JG. She was like, JG fine. I got JG. You going. You need to make sure you find you a date. So she made him make sure he found a date to this dance. So on the back of the flyer, that was where David wrote down the name of that, the prescription drugs that he got from Ray when he was coming from Ray's uncle's house. And that was back in episode, I think, 2. And so she sees it. And so David's way of deflecting and getting her off of what he had wrote was, he was like, okay, I'll go. And that was his way of trying to get his mother's mind. Y'all, I'm trying to get my hat to work out, y'all. Y'all know how I am about my hats, dear Lord. Maybe I should just let it stay down. I don't like it like that. Anyway, y'all know how I am about my crazy hats. So by him agreeing to go to the dance, that's him trying to deflect and get his mom's mind off of, the smell of the weed in his book bag, as well as that might still be in his book bag, as well as what he wrote on the back of that flyer. Cause she even asked him, "Why you got dryer sheets inside your book bag?" So then we cut away to Marissa's house. Marissa's mom, it's before school, and Marissa's mom is forcing the issue with Sarah. We know from was it last episode or episode before last? 2 episodes ago, episode 3, excuse me. And I didn't even say what episode this was. Y'all, this is David Makes Bad episode, season 1, episode 5. That's how excited I am. I'm all out of sorts because I'm so excited about this episode. Season 1, episode 5. I'm way late on that, y'all. Y'all pay me no mind. It'll be in the title. Anyway, she wants her with Sarah because she wants Marissa with Sarah. Saren is the clean cut boy. Saren is the one that looks like he has it all together, does everything right, comes from a good household. She's making Marissa put on this nice dress. She's straightening her hair, this, that, and the third. Marissa getting burned from the straightening iron and stuff like that. And her mom is trying to make her do everything. And Marissa was like, I can't even wear, I'm supposed to wear uniforms. I ain't supposed to wear this. It's burning my skin, trying to make any excuse. And so I saw early on that Marissa don't feel Saren like that. Marissa ain't into Saren like that. And I had already felt from last 2 episodes ago, I should say, that Marissa liked David because Marissa is one of those mean girls in middle school. And mean girls don't do nothing for you unless they like you. And when Marissa agreed to sing for David's project in episode 3, I knew she likes him. Also, Marissa's a good girl. Her mom wants her to be a good girl. And good girls like bad boys. And that's what David is to Marissa. And so I knew Marissa was going to like David. And David's a little cutie. David's a little nice piece of dark chocolate. Anyway, and then we're back at the Ville. David sees this girl he likes named Tara, okay? And this is when they're coming out of the house. David's getting ready to go to school. And they're downstairs playing jump rope. Listen. And David's mom, starts to try and jump rope. When they did that Evie Ivy over, listen, it took me all the way back to being a child. And I don't know if this is everyone. I just figured everybody did Evie Ivy over. But when they did that, that's how you did the little jump rope. You do Evie Ivy over. And then you would do the jump. I loved jumping rope as a child. I loved. When we used to have field day in elementary school, we used to have jump rope competition. I was always in the jump rope competitions. Always. Love jumping rope. Love doing it. Then they start doing down by the lake by Hank the Pains, and Bullfrog jump from back to base and E-I-O-U, your mama's second. So they did that, but we didn't used to do that with jump rope. We used to do that when you put your hands and you go like that, and you go from hand to hand. You stand in a little circle. You do down by the lake with the Hank the Pains. Say Bullfrog jump from back to base. Say E-I-O-U. Your mama steak, and so are you. King Kong, Donkey Kong, your mama smell like Fred Flintstone. Your mama look like Fred Flintstone. All the little games you used to play as a child. Listen, I waxed nostalgic during that part of the episode. It was so good. I really thought about my childhood right there. I had a whole ass moment, y'all. Whole ass moment. Anyway, David done saw little Tara. David is enamored with little Tara. Okay, he likes her. She done smiled at him. And he all, hot and bothered by her. And on his way to the bus stop, you start to see the little trees and stuff get flowers and the grass is greener and all this stuff. You know how they do on this show where David imagines all this stuff. And it made me think about this song by Kimberly Locke. If you don't know who Kimberly Locke is, Kimberly Locke, L-O-C-K-E, excuse me. Kimberly Locke was on American Idol season 2, the season with Clay Aiken and Ruben Studdard. She was in the top 3 with them. Her first album had a song on it called "Have You Ever Been in Love?" And in that song, it says, some of the lyrics say, have you ever noticed how the sky never seems so blue? The whole world's in time with you. And it talks about the grass being greener, the sky being bluer, and all of those things that goes along with being in love or infatuation. And that's what was happening with David here after seeing Tara. So when he gets to the bus stop, Sky is there. So him and Sky have this conversation about Tara and, asking her out and the things he needs to do and how he needs to stare at her. And then when she finally look at him, turn away. And, different things that is supposedly going to help him woo Tara so he can ask Tara to the dance. But I guess at some point on his way to school, he scratches that. Gets to the school. And the first person he sees is Marissa. He asks Marissa out because I can tell David kind of likes Marissa too. And that's why, if you notice, David always asks Saren about Marissa because he sees that Saren likes Marissa, and he don't want to infringe on his friend's territory. But David asks her out because he has to get somebody to go out with him because his mom said so. And Marissa declines. She's like, no. Because Marissa wants to ask him, but she got to play the mean girl role, and also her mom wants her to go with Saren anyway. So then David's at the counseling session. Listen. The counseling session got intense. I think a little too intense for David. They start to talk about Sky and Sky's death. And so the counselor asks him, who takes care of you when your mom's at work and things? And he was like, Miss Elijah. And he was like, Miss or Miss? He was like, what do you mean, Miss Elijah? And so David, in a roundabout way explains that Miss Elijah is a drag queen or whatnot. And so David says, and so the counselor presses him on that. He says, well, has he done anything to you? Anything inappropriate to you? He said, no. He's been very good to me. He's never done anything to me. And he was like, so what's the problem? He was like, I'm not homophobia. And it made me laugh because it made me think about Adam Pac-Man Jones, who used to be in the NFL. He was a quarterback. And so I remember he was doing an interview and he was talking about some of his antics, getting arrested and stuff. And he said, I was just being rebellion instead of rebellious. And so when David says, I'm not homophobia, it made me think about that, using a noun when you should be using an adjective. Anyway, that's the English teacher in me. Anyway, but then he talks about Sky, and he says, is that Sky's real name? He says, no. And he at first doesn't want to tell the counselor, the psychologist, what Sky's real name is. And then he tells him his name is Lamar. And so the counselor says, oh, like Elmar. Oh, meaning water or ocean. And it immediately clicked. Oh, that's why from episode 1, we've always seen David dreaming about water and the ocean or the sky. And even the morning when he woke up this morning on this episode, he was playing around with the water in the air and stuff like that in the ocean. So that was that connection to Sky, Elmar. So David says he's tired. And his counselor goes back and says, well, you talked about being tired before. And David's getting real uneasy. You see that leg start to tapping like it did the 2 episodes ago in episode 3. And you can see he's getting to that point where he's getting very uncomfortable. And I think the psychologist saw this. So he says, I know you're having problems sleeping. If you want, I can get you some stuff to help you sleep. And he goes to kind of pull out the prescription pad. And David's like, no, we can't do that. And he was like, well, I know the principal said we only had to have 2 sessions, but I really like to meet with you again. And he turns around, I think, to get something else, and David's gone. Because David is uncomfortable talking about all of these feelings and talking about Sky and talking about everything that's going on at home. Because he really wants to keep separated his home life from his school life. And we're going to see that later. In the hallway, when he leaves the counselor's office. Um, and we know. Let me go back. I think once again he doesn't want the prescription drugs because of the situation with his mom's past. But I really think it's more than that. Something makes me think that it's more than just his mom. His mom's past. I can't put my finger on it, but hopefully that comes to light later on. So then when David is in the hallway, he sees Sarah and Marissa, and they're talking, and it comes out that Marissa is going with Saren. Marissa apparently asked Saren because Saren wasn't gonna ask Marissa. So then they go out to like the little spill out area, to the area where they can sit down and talk outside. And so they're going through all the list of all the girls at school. And Marissa was like, no, not her. No, she's a lesbian. She's already accounted for. She's above your league. You know, she's out of your league. And all of so basically all the available girls all the girls at school are either taken or spoken for. Or he can't have them. And next thing we know, so David's like, damn, I got to get somebody because my mom told me that I got to find a date for the dance. David then sees the counselor. The counselor is in the office and the principal approaches the counselor to talk about David. And I don't know if I looked away or if I didn't pay attention. And I know how y'all are, my viewers. Y'all always tell me what I missed in the comment section, and I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for always letting me know what I missed. But something I missed in this back and forth between the psychologist and the principal, because he mentioned, why are you coming to me in this manner about David? And we learned that David's last name is Young, but I think I missed a large portion of the conversation between the counselor and the principal. So y'all put that in the comment section for me, because I missed that. Please, y'all. So I know one of y'all are going to. So y'all, please let me know about that conversation between the counselor and the principal. So then David comes home and he talks. And on his way home, he's in, the little open field behind the buildings, talking to Sky. Sky got on his sky blue, Carolina blue suit, talking to David. And they're talking about, how to go about getting Tara, this, that, and the third. And I messed up and said that earlier. Sky taught him about staring at Tara and then looking away. It was here that Sky did that. And so Sky's like, all right, you ready to do this? You ready to come with me? And David's like, nah, we can't do this. And then all of a sudden, this microphone appears and these little streamers come down and David is transported on stage and he starts performing New Edition's If It Isn't Love. Now, in my mind at that moment, I was like, wait a minute. You over here having whole ass conversations with Sky in this open ass field where any and everybody, it ain't no small, it's an open like space where it's nothing to hide him or shit. You just in the middle of this open space talking to yourself. And so in my mind, before he even started the love, If It Isn't Love thing, I was like, wait a minute, can't people see you, David? Get it together. David starts performing If It Isn't Love. David is over there getting his whole life, honey. He is performing If It Isn't Love. Why do I feel this way? You know, why she staying on my mind. You gotta know if it is. If you don't know the choreography to If It Isn't Love, and they didn't exactly do the choreography for If It Isn't Love doing this, but it was giving me like this whole little If It Isn't Love I New Edition performance gave me my entire life. I was having a ball with that. Baby, David is abruptly woken out of his trance by Shinobi and the people laughing. David wakes up, they all looking at him, and David is in full performance mode. Just a daydreaming. It's like all of the dope boys, like, nigga, what are you doing? And I just bust out laughing. It was so funny, because David was like, he was caught. And before he even went, I was thinking like, boy, what are you doing? Baby, they done caught him. All the dope boys, Shinobi and all of them caught him. It was so funny. And what I took away from that, it was so cute, David, and this little dance, okay? Uh, David gets caught by the dope boys, and I mean, they are just laughing at him. They are giving him the business. Shinobi, of course, is leading the laugh because you know Shinobi don't like him. And Shinobi caught him before talking to Sky. And that was in episode 2. Or was it episode 3? I think it was episode 2. Anyway, what I wrote down about this was Ray was there. And this time, Ray didn't stop them. Ray did not save David or look out for David. Ray just let them go. And then in the background, you see Tara passing by. David then goes home to the house. He goes to, in the house. JG's still peeing in the bed. Glow is going off for the old and the new. JG does what baby children do. He gives his mom the little baby Google eyes and whimpers a little bit. And his mom, you know, she folds to him. And, she said, it's okay. Excuse me. And then David tells his mom that he still ain't got no data. She was like, listen, you need to ask Tara out. She's a pretty little girl. Go ahead and ask her out. And remember, Tara's the girl who David likes. And he was talking to Sky about her. So then David goes in the bathroom and gets on the toilet to take a deuce, grow a tail. And his mom just busts in. Now, if you are a young man, your parent has busted in on you on the toilet many a times. Now, what you hope is that you are doing what David's doing, and that's just taking a deuce, where you could just quickly cover up. You hope that you ain't in there doing a number 3, not a number 2. What is a number 3? I'm glad you asked. Ladies, a number 3 is what guys do in the bathroom on the toilet when they're not doing a number 1 and number 2, and girls can't do it. You do that math. So you're hoping you're doing a number 2 and not a number 3 when your parents bust in on you if you're a boy. Everybody done had it happen. Glow trying to talk to him. Glow don't give a damn that he on the toilet. Glow is trying to talk to him. She done found this suit that she bought some time ago. And they was like, Ma, I think that suit is too small. David comes out, puts the suit on, and the jacket fits, but the pants looks like capris, okay? Like they way up on his shins, damn near at his knees. JG is clowning. The jokes are pouring out of JG, okay? Just pouring like rivers of life out of JG, okay? He even talks because David says the pants don't fit, and then JG goes, so you must acquit. I mean, JG got it going on. JG is clowning David. So then David's mom say, listen, you keep this suit on. You go, any girl will be lucky to have you because you is my son and you is fine. She forces him to go outside and go ask Tara out with this suit on. I was like, Glow, girl. Poor David goes outside. Listen. David walks his little bow-legged self out there, and listen. I don't know how it is in other cities, but in Miami, the girls like the bow-legged boys. The girls like them a little boy that got a little, not too bad with the bow-leg, but if you got a little bow-leggedness to you, the girls like it. The boys like it too. Anyway, they like a little bow-leggedness to they men. Just a slight. And so when you look at David with those little capris, you see the little bow-leggedness, and I was like, okay, David. Listen, the actual actor that plays David, Achille McDowell, give him a couple more mango seasons, okay? Child, he gonna be hurting him. Give him a couple more mango seasons. He gonna be giving the girls and some of the boys the business on screen, okay? Anyway, moving on. Miss Elijah sees him. Miss Elijah's like, girl, what you got going on that bottom? She come up here. And so she takes him in the house and, fixes his pants. She got a sewing machine out, fixing the pants and so forth and so on. And starts to give David advice on how to talk to girls. talk about you need to be sensitive and stuff like that. And she's talking to David about how to woo him, a little girl. Back in Saren's house, it's the night of the dance. Saren comes out dressed, the tie isn't tied. Mom says, okay, let me go get my camera and get some stuff situated. Stepdad is in there. Marissa is there waiting for Saren. The dad starts tying his tie, and it's so uncomfortable. You can feel it in the room, and Marissa feels it too. And it's this extra added little touch and caress that he has with Saren that's so uncomfortable. So, and he even talks to Marissa like, oh, you and I both have something in common. We see in Saren what maybe he don't see himself. It was just this whole scene just made my skin crawl. It raised the hairs on my arms. I was like, ooh. I was very uncomfortable. It was so uncomfortable. Even to the point where Saren's mom comes and tries to give her a shawl to cover her shoulders. Talk about don't give away the farm. And Marissa was like, child, and took that shawl off and kept it moving. At David's house, Glow got this little disposable camera taking all these pictures. And he was like, hurry up, Mom, of David and Terry. He was like, hurry up, we got to go catch the bus. She was like, don't worry about that. I borrowed Miss Elijah's car, and I'm going to drop y'all to the dance. So that way they don't have to catch the bus. So then when they get to the dance, David is uncomfortable. Not Marissa, damn. Tara starts to talk to Saren and Marissa, and she calls him Day. And they don't know him as Day. They know him as DJ. Day is who he is at home. DJ is who he is at school. And I said this earlier. When you're that child, and I know what it's like being the child coming out of the hood at this school that's not in the hood, that's got all of these well-to-do kids there. You want to separate your home life from your school life. You do not want that to intertwine and connect. Okay? So that's why he's Day at home and he's DJ at school. And so when Tara starts to tell all of these stories and these anecdotes and so forth from David at home, you start to see like everything is crashing down. David is imagining, and you know how they do on this show where it actually happened. You think it's actually happening. Pillars are falling down and balloons are bursting and lights are exploding because everything's crumbling down around David because everything he set up is in one night. Tara is tearing down. And at one point, Tara goes and talks to Dr. Woodstrap. And Dr. Woodstrap is talking to Tara. And David's like, let's go dance. Because he doesn't want her talking to Dr. Woodstrap anymore. Because he doesn't want, like I say, he doesn't want that to connect. And so Tara's over there dancing. Next thing you know, Tara sees a fondue fountain. You know, the chocolate fondue fountain. She's all excited. David is like, she's talking to David about, oh, I got to tell so-and-so. I saw that. And David was like, can you not tell them? Because if you tell them, the whole neighborhood going to find out. And so Tara was like, well, what's wrong with that? And so David wants to keep this separation between home and school. Tara is apparently not here for that. She wants to tell the whole world. When David says, don't do that, she kind of gets offended. And you know, for girls like that, they hot heads. It don't take nothing to get them popped off. Child, baby Tara got mad and went off for the old and the new. Made this big scene and just storms out. Now David's really embarrassed. So, and you know, this is why, I think this is essentially why David ended up asking Marissa out and not Tara in the beginning. So on the bus ride home, Marissa is sitting way away from David. David's in the back of the bus. He sees this little frog. I thought maybe the frog was this figment of his imagination again, like we often see, but the frog is actually real. Sky appears. David's talking to Sky. And I think David must have talked to Sky out loud at one point because he said, I fuck everything up. And I thought he was talking to Sky, and Marissa looked at him. And I think he was talking to Sky, but said it out loud, and Marissa saw him, and Marissa thought he was kind of like making a way to apologize. Not Marissa, damn. Tara thought he was making a way to apologize to her. So Tara tells David, so David goes over to her, and, you know, they kind of make up and reconcile. David, Tara tells David, you know Marissa likes you. And like I told y'all earlier, I knew Marissa like that. And he was like, no, she don't. How you know? She was like, when I came in, you don't know how she cut me with her eyes. Baby, I told y'all Marissa like David. I knew that. And so David is goes home. Glow and JG are in that back open field. They are burying all of JG's little dolls and childlike toys. And that's her way of this ceremony for JG to bury him being a little baby, so he can grow up and be a little man and not pee the bed anymore. And she tells him this is the cure that we're going to have for you not peeing in the bed. You're going to go up and you're going to be a little man from now on, and you're not going to pee no more in the bed. So I kind of like I liked that. I really did. Will it work? We'll see. David then takes Tara home, and you saw it was time for him to kiss her, and he's starting to try to go in to kiss her, and what happens? Tara's mom comes to the door, and he don't get to kiss her, and Tara gotta go. So David then talks to Sky. You see David when he goes upstairs, he's looking outside, and he sees the dope boys out there, and Ray is down there with Shinobi and some of the other guys, and I think the guy that was with Ray's uncle, the little light-skinned guy, was down there too. I couldn't see real clear. So then Sky is telling him how, you know, I raised Ray, telling David I raised Ray when I wasn't nothing but a boy, but I was more like his older brother than I was his dad, and you know, this, that, and the third. And he said, I fuck up everything except for one thing. And I think that one thing he was talking about was David. And this is David talking to himself, of course, we know. So then David finally goes up to the house. He walks to the door, and there's a 3-day notice to pay the rent. A 3-day notice. Mom, Glow, and JG walk up, and David has the note. He just throws it on the ground and walks in the house. And I think Glow at that point saw that it was the 3-day notice, and saw that David was just so upset and disappointed. And that's where it ends. And so I'm curious to see what David is going to do now to try to, you know, help his mom make ends meet. Because I didn't talk about how earlier David noticed that his mom had a bandage on her arm, and the mom had sold her blood and her plasma and told David, don't worry about it, I got this. So I'm curious to see what goes on with that. And that was the episode, y'all. Another great episode. Shouts out to the cast, writers,